What's up, everyone? Nick Whittier here. It's January 1st of 2018. Sorry I only uploaded a couple of vlogs last week. Been having some computer problems, but still trying to do it daily. So, hope you guys all had a good climax to your 2017. I didn't do that much last night, but yet I'm still feeling pretty shitty today. Not the best way to start off my year, especially because one of my goals is to be a little bit less degenerate, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, today I want to talk about running tournaments. I'm not the most experienced TO. I've basically been an assistant TO at a few dozen tournaments and been the head TO, half a dozen times or something. But I want to talk about how tournaments have kind of declined in quality over the last 5 years or whatever. So, EVO 2013 was, the first super national we ever had, right? It had 700 entrants or so. That was a lot more than our record had been, which was about half of that, maybe even less than half. And at this point, we started to say that tournaments got too big for a bunch of things we liked. Now, this list can be extensive or not, depending on the tournament. It could be best fives, as we don't see at EVO. It could be not having round robin pools. It could be not having doubles, and so on and so on. It could be whatever. But overall, saying you don't have time for these things is mostly just a lie. It's just complete bullshit. Because let's look at, I didn't go to EVO this year, but let's say EVO 2016. EVO 2016 had 1,500, 1,700 entrants, some shit like that. And by the end of day one, more than 1,600 of those people are out of the tournament. It's only a final bracket for day two, and not to mention it's a 3-day tournament. So EVO's one thing, right? Because they need to schedule for top eights, and our top eight already takes a pretty long time. So I think the lack of best of fives there is kind of understandable. But when it comes to more grassroots events, saying we don't have time for round robin pools, that's again total bullshit. When was the last time we saw a national that had any meaningful amount of shit on day three? Day three is basically just top eight, so that's a whole day of time that we could use that we don't. So there's other frustrating things, right? Where for instance, I love doubles, but sometimes I choose not to enter doubles for the same reasons as Mango or Leffen or whoever, where it's it just feels a little bit too much. The tournaments aren't scheduled in a convenient way for the players. So I really liked, I think Shine 2017 was one of the best events I've ever been to, and I really liked their progressive take on scheduling events, which was to do doubles day one, and I think also round one pools, pretty much have all of singles day two, or all of the hard part of singles besides top eight, and then top eight day three. Now this felt really nice. I could the events were segregated, so I could focus on each. They didn't it was easy to find time to take a break, get food, whatever, do whatever things I want, and still be in all events if you choose to do that. So that was really cool, and I really wish that more tournaments would try to change their scheduling a little bit more, because it's okay. There's a lot of things that are frustrating about nationals. So obviously getting up earlier than you feel you have to sucks, because they could probably just change the schedule and make it more accommodating, but they don't. Another thing is that a lot of times the hard part of singles is something you have to play pretty cold. So if you're in the losers bracket going into the final bracket, top 64 or whatever, and you have to play your first match at 10 a.m., that means you're playing a top 100, probably even top 70 player or something as your first match of the day. And then if you lose that match, you're out, right? So that fucking sucks, because you have to be playing your best shortly after you wake up. And it's one thing to say 10 or 11 a.m. isn't that early. It's not, but it's early to have to do anything extremely well. No, believe me, I don't have any problem waking up at that time. But honestly, if I'm trying to play well at 10 or 11 a.m., I'm waking up at 7 or so. And, obviously I'm trying to have fun at the tournament, so I'm not going to be going to bed at 11. Not And even if I wanted to, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to sleep that early because gamers tend to be more nocturnal. So similarly, there can be other things like switching from doubles to going to play right after having to play singles. That's something that I know SBAT was really frustrated with at Genesis 4, I believe. No, maybe it wasn't Genesis 4. Maybe it was Genesis 3. Anyway, okay. No, fuck that anecdote. Whatever the tournament where SBAT got dumpstered by Zane, like the 3-0 the first time that they played where it looked really bad for Zach. That was one where he had just come off winning doubles. I don't remember what tournament that was, but I think maybe it was SmashCon. So they left doubles top 4 for right before singles top 8, which is cool for viewership. But like as a competitor to have to focus on doubles and then like play singles when your opponent was definitely warming up for singles, like that really sucks. It's just like honestly getting fucked by scheduling, and I guess by your choice to enter both events, but sometimes like we don't even know what the schedules are going to be in that far in advance. Anyway, the point is you guys should all like make a strong effort to manage your schedules and like be cognizant of these factors going into nationals and how you can get a leg up by being cognizant of these things. Because I'll leave that at that. Also, you should be picky about which tournaments you choose to go to based on which ones actually are accommodating and which ones provide player experiences, because we have like a cool free market-esque system where anybody can choose to go to any tournament, or like can choose any tournament over another tournament, and the only real way to incentivize TOs to run it right or to run it better is to show your support by attending the event, and also whining on social media helps a little bit too, dumb as that sounds. But yeah, in Melee, we've definitely settled in a lot of ways where we definitely could be doing more to make the tournament experiences better. And there's definitely been some innovation now. Sometimes we have like ladder in tournaments. So if that's important to you, maybe try to support tournaments that have that. Or lots of different things. Like I said, the Shine scheduling I really appreciate, so I'll definitely try to go back to Shine based on that. I feel like it really makes the player experience a lot better, even if the viewership isn't better. I think it's definitely less important to me, and it should be to most competitors. What else? So Genesis this year, it's still unclear a few weeks out whether or not it's going to be UCF. This is like totally not cool. If I didn't live in the region of Genesis, I definitely would not go. So attending other out-of-region tournaments for me this year, definitely not going to go to tournaments that haven't announced whether or not they're UCF like months ahead of time, before I'm going to book my flight, because that will be a deciding factor. And, it's not even just about that I want UCF, which I do. It's also that I want to know which one I'm going to be playing on in advance so I can prepare better. So yeah, that's something really frustrating, and we definitely shouldn't let people get away with that shit, or like let TOs get away with that. I'm sure that Genesis has very good reasons why they haven't made a decision yet, and in fact, I know they do because I'm friends with the TOs. But yeah, I really just wish we all knew. Give us the information ahead of time, and yeah, I definitely hope that people have an extra level of like vigilance and discretion when picking which nationals to go to. Now that there's so many tournaments, right? It's not just Apex and then like Evo and then Genesis. Now we have Smash and Splash, Royal Flush, maybe another GTX, maybe these Dream Hacks, and so on and so on. There's so many tournaments out there. SmashCon, not to mention maybe even some Canadian shit like Gommel. I think there's another one, Canada Cup. Yeah, there's so many tournaments to go to that I really think there's like an obligation for the people who attend nationals to pick the best ones, not just like which ones are necessarily convenient or like $70 cheaper or something. I think that it's getting to the point now where in our tournament ecosystem, we're going to have to start actually going to tournaments based on which ones are awesome, rather than just like which ones have the most entrance or prestige. Like, I was personally very okay with sitting out Evo this year. Evo had kind of declined in its player experience for me every year, So yeah, I didn't feel like I missed out on much, and I guess it seems like a lot of other people feel that way because you can't really like get any practice at that tournament. Obviously, just having setups for friendlies, that's like always one of the most important things, and that's probably where Evo lacks the most, or like the reason the most people complain about it. So yeah, all right, guys. Hope you guys are still on break, inaugurating 2018, still having a fun time, haven't gotten back into the day-to-day grind of mundane shit. I know holidays are an exhausting time, and sometimes it's actually like nice for them to end. To not have to spend as much time around your family, who can be frustrating or whatever shit. But remember, it's a respite from the rest of the year, and yeah, just fucking going to the new year, carpe diem, guys. All right, I'll talk to you guys again soon.